この声が闇に虚しく吸い込まれたもしも世界が
Alright guys, we are back in action, and I'm really glad this didn't end up being a 5-0 today because of the fantastic players we have at our fingertips. As you see in the top right before we do introductions, the score is currently 4-2, so this is still match point for Quantic Gaming, who is down in this series. But they do have possibly their strongest player, their possibly biggest contender playing for them right now. We'll see if he can reverse all, kill it up. But spawning here in the lower left corner of the map, the man of the hour, it is from Quantic Gaming. Give it up for Hyun. And his opponent in the upper right, playing for Axiom, it is the Red Protoss, Quantic. And the map maker of this map, actually, for the record, is a guy in chat named Phoenix XSC, or Phoenix X6SC, I should say, who has informed me on all of his maps there's a Pandarian barrel from World of Warcraft hiding somewhere. So I'm going to, in the early game, just take a quick browse around for it. Because I want to find it and just be like, aha! Oh, I think I see it. Got him! What's up, Phoenix? Nice Easter egg, brah. Anyways, I'm Rifkin, of course, you're watching on Base Trade TV, and I want to thank you guys for tuning in so far today. I hope you enjoyed the broadcast, but as I said earlier, we've had some sound discrepancies, I suppose, that I've tried to rectify, so I hope the audio is okay now. And to answer something that was asked in chat while the game sets up here too, Olej asking, why do you wear a hat? Typically, if I don't shower, I wear a hat. That's the bottom line. It's not about style. It's just a typical baseball hat. I mean, it's a cap more than anything else. There's nothing a lot more to it. I'm sorry I don't have a deeper answer, but 3 hatch and gas before pool. Hyun played a little bit greedy. I guess a player like Crank, I guess he's going to be able to get away with it, but Crank is, I don't know, he's taking a lot of gas right now, not looking for that expansion. I'm a little curious if he goes for something ridiculous like a proxy Stargate. Well, he's not going to proxy Stargate. Obviously, there's no probe out on the map. But if he were for quick like DTs, maybe something like that. But he's going to be expanding, so I take this all back. But I just look at the 3 and 3 in gas, and perhaps maybe transfer it later. I should have been paying attention to this instead of hunting for Easter eggs. Of course, the question at hand is, what does Crank do versus Hyun? Typically, you ask, what does the Zerg player do? What does the Zerg reactionary type race player do against the Protoss? But Hyun, I feel, will be the one dictating the pace of this game. Again, he plays this really aggressive style when he needs to, and his ZVP is, I hate to pull out that pun, pretty unstoppable right now, as he plays it very well. He muddled through Young, had a bit of troubles with him, but that's Terran. That's a whole nother can of worms. Crank is a different player, a different match, and of course a much different race. So we'll see if he's presented with any issues or if this will be a walk in the park for Hyun. Well, there's that Robo, so on the front lines like this, actually, ooh, I don't really like this, to be honest. So to discuss this real quick, typically you'll see players put a Stargate here, right? You'll put a Stargate in the front lines because you want your opponent to scout out with your Overlord. You want them to see, hey, you know, there's going to be Phoenixes out. Don't you dare go for Mutalis. Don't you dare. But with the Robo facility being on the front lines, all this does is really expose it. I don't know that I'm a fan of this because typically what you'll do is you'll put the gateway as part of your wall off and the Robo in the main. But I guess, economically speaking, he just wanted to get this out quicker without sacrificing much. I don't know. I just don't like the position in the Robo facility. I feel like Hyun, someone who likes to play with his roaches, can knock this down very easily, even with force fields to defend it, even with an overcharge. And this is a critical building in ZVP. Colossus, Immortals, those are 2 very essential units. I don't know, maybe I'm just talking a bunch of nothing, and this won't even be an issue, but that's just the first thing I glean, seeing the positioning of that. But Crank knows what he's doing. If this is part of his wall-off, it is for good reason, and we'll find out why later, but for now, Hyun's just going to take control of the watchtowers, keep Overlord spread on the map, got all the vision he needs, and of course, starting his creep spread a little bit later, but still starting creep spread. Not something you see a lot of players do versus the Protoss, but still absolutely necessary in this matchup. Again, creep spread is fantastic no matter what the matchup is. It's how you utilize it that comes down to question. But, of course, with creep spread against Protoss, what this does is it limits where pylons can go down. You can't proxy quite so easily. And I think because of the prediction of this, we do see the Warp Prism coming out very early. And, ooh, do we have a 4th sentry out? No, so 3 for now. I thought for a second this was going to be like an Arthur-style super sentry all into the main, you know, force field off that ramp and try and warp in as much as you can, but there's a lot of gateways coming down. This is still a possibility. You might only have the 3 sentries for now, but can still pick up and go. But yeah, okay, Crank is going to make it happen. So to explain a little further, his goal is to go all the way around the map. He needs to circumvent the Overlords. If the Warp Prism is discovered in even the slightest, this gets shut down. And what he's probably going to try and do first off is warp in a couple Zealots down here to draw the attention of Hyun's army out of the main, and then beeline it to the main with that Warp Prism, force field off the ramp, and do massive, massive warp ins to the main of Zealots, of Stalkers, whatever he needs to do to knock down this base. Or he might just straight up assault. The third, yeah, here comes Zealots to be the distraction. All right. So far, so good. Check that off the list. Rifkin kind of knows what he's talking about. But he may actually end up just putting a lot of pressure on this base. So, not going to go for the main tactics like I thought he would. Sentries were revealed, of course, and 2 of these Zealots will be picked up. So, while Hyun's army is down here, he's got to know that something's up. He saw the sentries, he saw the force fields. He's got to know that his army needs to be in the main. You know, Overseer going to get into the main of Crank and get some scouting off, but whoa, where's the army going to go? Oh, if Crank can actually bait the roaches up the ramp, he can do the same thing with the natural. Unloading the natural, force field off the ramp, and cut this base off. Maybe? But it looks like he's just not going to dedicate too much. Oh, another Bandit Barrel, by the way. But yeah, just going to apply a little bit of pressure, I think. Kind of limited on what he can do. Doesn't have any kind of crazy tech to, like, no Dark Temple to quickly knock down a base. Taking his own third behind. But Hyun is going for, whoa, Hyun's going for not just Ventricle Sex, but also Pneumatic Carapace. So this combination is certainly not going to be a misclick. This will be Overlord drops. This is a great way to get past force fields. Of course, you know, it's not, the Immortals are always scary, but it's not Immortals that shut roaches down. It's the force fields. And if you can get over the force fields, like, oh, look, half my army's trapped. You just pick them up and drop them off, then it's not an issue. It's kind of like Medivacs in that regard. A little bit less fast, and of course don't heal, but this could be really cool. And of course, let's not forget the chance that he just goes past everything and just unloads 100 roaches in the main of Crank. This could be devastating if it goes off, but may not even get a chance to utilize it. May just end up using it as a precautionary just in case. Well, while this is happening, much love goes out to X Grommet X. Day off plus StarCraft 2 plus base straight TV equals OP. Glad to have you here, man. But oh, here come the roaches, and here are the Overlords. There's so many of them clumped up. He's ready to go, but he needs to make sure this isn't scouted, because right now a lot of Overlords clumped up like this. It looks a little out of the ordinary, but it's nothing that tells him drops are available. The second he loads into this, the second that observer sees all these roaches mysteriously disappear, that's what tells Crank something might be up. But ooh, a nice drop off in the main, in the dead space too. Hyun actually can't see this, so Zealots may draw the attention backwards for just a moment. Does he still not see that? He still can't see that. Oh wow. Okay, sneaky Zealot run by. Will be held here for a little bit. Probably put in later. Warp Prism going to be the main focus, and Hyun's still showing that the roaches are actively on the map, not giving away that these are drops yet. We'll have the roaches positioned in a nice spot, and then the drops will come in. There are a lot of Stalkers here, though. These Overlords can get picked off, and the last thing you want to do, of course, is lose an Overlord full of roaches before it can even unload a single unit. Alright, well, there are the pickups. Such gross sounds as the Overlords are loaded into. And here comes the drop. There's, again, so many Stalkers here, though. I don't know if this will work, but Hyun has to go with this. There's no falling back. You're dedicating to this attack. And the force fields are going to go down like crazy, but the roaches are able to connect to those Immortals immediately. Oh, man, this might not be enough. Between the overcharge and these Stalkers, the roaches coming out one at a time. That's what can't be the production line. Loses everything, Hyun. And of course, back at home, the Zealots eventually walked forward. They started chasing off the mineral line, so actually losing his main, get transferred here to the 4th. Not the worst thing in the world, but no roaches to unload them. Everything on the field, everything available to him. Hyun making a lot more roaches behind this. He did pick off almost every sentry, so that was one small advantage, but that's not going to be enough to really break this force. Roach is going to try and push forward, but Blink Stalkers are here. A lot of Lings coming up behind this too to max out, but the drones are going to be pulled on top of this. Roaches are going to try and focus down the Immortals. Looks like they will be able to snipe them off just barely, but will the Ling follow-up be enough? Blink Stalkers, of course, not the best versus Lings, but the Roaches are dwindling. Their numbers are going down quick. And on the ramp, there's no chance for a surround. These Lings are going to have to fight away from that ramp if they want any chance to take an engagement. It looks like Hyun is going to be forced to take this. Drones being pulled. Crank! Is he going to do it with Blink Stalkers? He's a big blink backwards, stuck inside the time where Hyun has almost nothing left available to him. That drop cost him the game, and looks like good game will be called. And Crank will seal the deal. 5-2 Axiom over Quantic Gaming. And Crank saying he is so strong. Alright, well, I'll have to find the third Pandarian barrel hiding on that map another day. But well freaking played by both players. The entire team from Impact to Ryung to Crank. Axiom played it very well today. But that will be this series, guys. 5-2 ends it all. It's a best of 9. I want to thank you guys for tuning into the broadcast. And it looks like the 25 of you that voted for Axiom were right. But the 11 of you who voted with me for Quantic Gaming, your hearts were better. I have no idea what I'm saying. I am going to run some ads while I take a quick breather, boot up my laptop, and we'll do subscriber shoutouts to end the broadcast. Again, thank you guys for tuning in today. A little unfortunate Nathaniel's power went out. Would have loved to have had him experience these fantastic games, but can't say I'm upset because we had 1,400 of you come over to my stream, so I'm okay with that. I hope you guys enjoyed the broadcast. Do follow the channel, and of course, follow me on Twitter at riff_kings on Twitter. I do hope to see you guys in the future. We'll run those ads real quick, and I'll get my laptop booted up, then we'll get on with subscriber shoutouts. So, see you guys in a few minutes.